New Year's Day in lovely scenic Paju City, South Korea. This is an addendum to Mixer's log number 15. I got a comment from DJ. I'm kind of hard-headed. I didn't get it at first. He was saying, hey, why not just insert a gain plug-in in the mix bus right before the LUFS meter and just dial it down from there. And once I got it through my thick skull, I was like, yeah, why don't I do that? Why didn't I think of that? And I actually had to think about that. Like, why didn't I think of that? Because there's no reason not to do that. There's nothing I can think of that would make that misguided idea. Like, it makes perfect sense. Why didn't I think of it? I mean, I can be dumb sometimes, but that's like really missing the obvious, eh? So I really had to stop and think about, like, why didn't I think of that? And then the only answer that came to mind is that, well, it's like when I'm out, for example, when I'm out looking for new free plugins, or even looking for a certain kind of plugin, but I'm at like Plugin Boutique or Bedroom Producer's blog or someplace like this, and seeing lots of different plugins. You see what's out there over time, and I guess I never saw that kind of plugin before. But I guess it would be kind of like if you're a guitar pedal board guy, any kind of pedal board person, like maybe like some people would put a volume pedal at the end of their pedal board chain before the amplifier. Right? So, I mean, it's not exactly the same thing, but similar idea. But I just never seen that like a plugin that says, this plugin, put this in your mix bus after everything else as the last thing, and use this to dial it down before final output. It's just, I say, okay, well, I've never seen that. I can't remember ever seeing that. So maybe it's out there and I've missed it. So anyway, here's what I did. Let me just get myself out of the way here. I went to good old Brave browser, which has a very serviceable AI assistant, search AI, search bot, whatever you would call it. This thing saves me a lot of time. It scans all the forums and blogs and in some case manuals, reviews. It gives you a short and skinny. Right, so let me see. All right. I searched, when trying to reduce LUFS reading for upload, is it good to use a volume attenuator in the mix bus? Because I also kind of want to see if is there anyone out there who says it's not a good idea. And so I get this sort of generalized answer from the AI, LUFS and volume attenuators. And it says, when trying to reduce the LUFS, I was wrong. Loudness units relative to full scale. Well, I said loudness units full scale, I think. Anyways, when trying to reduce the LUFS reading for upload, using a volume attenuator in the mix bus is a common approach. Oh, okay. So sometimes I'm obtuse. This method allows you to lower the overall volume of your track without significantly altering the dynamics or the balance of your mix, which is what I was trying to avoid. Of course, however, it's important to ensure that you maintain a sufficient amount of headroom to avoid clipping or distortion. Well, I didn't ask about that, but okay. Blah, blah, blah. So to effectively blah, 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 insert a volume attenuator. Monitor LUFS and RMS. Okay, well, maintain headroom. Yeah. Adjust compression and limiting. Well, see, that's basically what I did. Although I didn't adjust the main compressor, but I did a similar thing. I tweaked a tape emulation plugin, which is practically the same thing. Now, so I'm DJ is suggesting this. So place a volume attenuator plugin on the master bus and gradually reduce the volume until you reach the desired LUFS level. This will lower the perceived loudness of the track. So then, naturally, and it's using the term volume attenuator, right? And so I open a new tab, and let me see. I'm just going to type in mix bus volume attenuator VST plugin. I already did it. Now I don't get an AI answer. I get the first hit says attenuation, VST audio plugins. And then I got a whole bunch of 22 favorite mix bus plugins, free compressor VST. And what I get mostly, okay, so I haven't looked through all these, but so I haven't looked through all of them. All right. This one, okay, LUFS limiter free. So I haven't read through all these. Limiter. It's a limiter. I don't know a lot about limiters. There's a lot I don't know a lot about. I'm flying by the seat of my pants here. I know the sound that I'm after. I have that sound in my soul. And I'm just trying to make that sound. And so there are things that I'm probably wrong about. I've read things about limiters that I have read up on them. There was a time when I thought about using a limiter, and I can't remember all the details, but I just remember deciding that's not for me. I don't want to use. Maybe it's because limiters are as they say, de rigueur. Is that the right pronunciation? It's kind of something that everybody kind of automatically uses. It's kind of taken for granted that you use that. And I read things about that. It's just the gist of what I remember reading is that it's commonly misused. And, and it's often an attempt to it's part of that loudness horse thing. That's my impression. Anyway, I just decided I'm not going to use a limiter on the mix bus. It's just something I decided at one point, and also I'm just real. Even with compression and compressors, I consider myself to be pretty picky with my compression. I don't like strong compression, especially. No, I do use very strong compression on individual tracks, like with vocals, for example. With percussion, with bass, I use heavy percussion on bass parts. But in the mix bus, I consider myself to be pretty conservative when it comes to use of compression. I want to retain some dynamic interest. There's, well, I'm not unique in saying this, right? I mean, music needs space. I do, and I do like, I've got stuff that's like wall of sound and really loud and forceful, and I've done heavily compressed stuff. But anyways, look, it's just like limiter. I don't want to use a limiter, and maybe I should, but I just don't want to use a limiter. So I'm just thinking along the lines of just a volume. Like if I had just a little volume a fader, just a little plug-in that came up, and it's just a fader. And just like take it down 0.2, 0.3 after all the processing has been done, after everything's been done, and I've got the audio image that I've created, and I just want to take the whole thing without changing it in the slightest and just take it down a couple of clicks. As far as I understand, limiters, but maybe I'll have to read more up on this. But DJ, thanks for bringing it to my attention. I will. I'm going to be looking into this and going back to this issue, and it's a possible blind spot. Thanks for pointing it out. I really appreciate it, man. That's so great to get actual feedback. It's just making these videos when it just feels like you're pissing in the wind sometimes, and this is great. I did also look up, so instead of searching Attenuator plugin, I thought I'd search Mixbus gain, I guess gain free. It's kind of weird. Mixbus gain. Mixbus. I don't know, word this better. Word Mixbus gain plugin. Free. VST. All right, so, and I get the same results. TDR Kotelnikov. I already have it. It's a mastering compressor. It's good. I like tone boosters better. Why? Because tone boosters is more transparent. Kotelnikov is really, really good. It's just a bit too heavy-handed for me. Like it's got 4 settings in it, 4 presets Kotelnikov has that I will consider using. And I just was finding that I couldn't pick one because even though they're all fine for what they did, that's not what I want. And so this is why I was really happy to find the Tone Boosters compressor. So anyway, but here's the point. DC1A Klinghelm. I have that. These are all compressors. When I search gain plugin, I'm getting all compressors, right? So, yeah, the jury is out. But thank you, DJ, for your kind feedback, sir. I appreciate it, man. And when I have more of a definitive answer, from my personal perspective, I will mention that. Okay, that's enough for this one. Now I got a Happy New Year's Day story to tell, and that's going to be coming up next. From the tail end of New Year's Day here in lovely scenic Paju, South Korea, 10:55 p.m. Happy New Year, everybody. Over and out.